That's a good question. I do feel that the team has changed quite a bit, but I think when there's so many new faces, I think that's only natural. But I think the main personality of the team is still similar. It's growing because I think the team is always growing each year. It continues, but I think the main fundamentals and character are still the same, if that makes sense. But yeah, it feels different, but it in some sense, but it's all positive, and it looks like it's just leading to bigger and better things. German efficiency, it's a well-oiled machine. Everything works. Like there's a good structure, and yeah, it just always looks like a solid professional team. And it's one that is kind of it's that, or like in cycling, it's often so chaotic that it's very hard to have control over and organization. But this team seems to have that in bucket loads. So I think, yeah, just it seems to be well structured, well organized, a strong force. So yeah, definitely is one of the stronger teams in the peloton, and one I'm certainly proud to be part of. I think so. I tried many sports when I was younger because I was a very quiet kid, and yes, I was always kind of playing around on bikes and making little ramps and just playing on the bike. And yeah, my parents liked me to do. I suppose in Ireland, cycling isn't such a big sport. It has a great history, but there's not many young people that do it, and they just wanted me in more of a team environment where there was like a lot more kids doing it, just to get me more just out there, more confidence. And I just wanted to ride my bike. And I remember, like, just when I was younger, saying I want to be fast, or I want to be, I didn't even know there was different categories within road racing and that. And yeah, I tried many different sports, but cycling was one where I suppose, especially in Ireland, coming through the ranks, where I could rely on myself more. If I had a good day, but the football team, or the Irish, the GAA, like with the hurling or the Gaelic football, if the team had a bad day, even if I had a good day, you couldn't really compensate enough. Whereas back then, cycling, I was relying on myself, and I could go as hard as I wanted or as easy as I wanted, and I enjoyed that element of it. Of course, now as an adult and in professional teams, I see, yeah, cycling teams, I can see that it is a team sport, and you need a good team around. I think the fear of never being as good as I want to be. Um, I'm always chasing these ideas and these results, and still sometimes they feel very far away. And I feel that if I don't get them before I retire, maybe I won't be satisfied with my career. So that keeps me up at night. Nah, not so much, but it keeps me motivated and keeps me on my toes, and so that I don't really relax too much. I think that, like, there is certain results, but I suppose also, like, you often get sensations where you can improve in a certain area in the sport, and I feel that if I never gave it my all, and I feel like if I left like a certain area, like within performance, and like if I left it without doing everything I could be to be the best I can be, I'd never forgive myself because I knew I wasn't the best version of myself. I think also, like, you start training on the off season, and of course it's hard at the beginning, but the best motivator then is when you see results. So when you see the data and the numbers in training, and then you just get hooked because you see form growing, you see different aspects of your fitness growing, and I think that is something that's encouraging. And I'm always chasing numbers, but it keeps it interesting, and it's something I quite enjoy as well. Yeah, I had quite a few. Yeah, a few. Some were like Tom Boonen, Robbie McEwen, and then, like, of course there's a lot of top pro riders that you'd see growing up, but they were the main two at the time. I suppose I know I come from the same hometown as Sean Kelly, but it wasn't until I really was a professional rider and rode races and I was barely finishing them and realised he won them multiple times that I really appreciated what he had done. I think later in my career, he's been more of a role model to me because I understand the sport more. Um, but when I was younger, it was more Robin McKeown and Tom Boonen. You know, Robin McKeown, I used to replay his videos, like his sprints over and over again to see his positioning, how he fought for wheels, stuff like that. And then Tom Boonen was just cool. Like. My favourite moment on race day, I think the moment when the race switches from being controlled to really going into the bunch sprint, and it can happen from anywhere from, I suppose in Tour de France maybe 40k out, and then in smaller races maybe 3k to go. But that first switch of when the speed changes and the whole character and the bunch changes, and you just get a sudden shot of adrenaline, and everything just shakes, and then you get into it, like, and the heart rate goes up, and I think it's that moment you just feel like a coldness goes down your legs and arms into your toes and fingers, and you just like everything switches on, and that's something, that adrenaline, that kick and that feeling is something that I can't find in normal day-to-day life, and that's, I suppose, something that keeps me hooked, you know. There's nothing I can compare it to. I don't actually. No, I don't know, sorry.
Doesn't matter.
Actually, sorry, I could probably go on that answer and say that I'll only do what I think is enough. So if there was only 7 riders I had to give bottles to, it would be only 7 bottles, so I don't waste energy. I've had so many embarrassing, funny moments, and the thing is, you ask me now, and I can't think of one like on the spot. Embarrassing. I'm always doing something. At a race or at training? Or
Yeah, training as well.
Training. This is. So I have really embarrassing ones, but I'll hold them, I think, because they're very, very bad. But one, and it's embarrassing, and also I don't think it would come to this, but if the family that was there ever see this, I'm sorry. But I was training on a back road in Ireland, and came along to these cars, and I was like, why are they going so slow? And I had a tailwind and I was going good, and I wanted to continue my effort, so I started overtaking, and it's like kind of, I wasn't aggressive, but I was overtaking these cars and like going through a lot, back roads, around these corners, and next minute I get to like 3 cars to go, and I look up, I see the hearse, with the coffin, the car with the coffin in it. It was like, it was a funeral, and I was overtaking all these cars, and like, it was so disrespectful. I didn't know, because I came off onto another road, and I was overtaking a funeral, and when I realised what it was, I stopped on the side of the road in complete shame, and I just took the next turn. Something I can't live without, my wife. My phone. It's bad. It's an addiction. I need to like find a way of getting myself off the phone.
Okay.
I suppose after my career, I want to travel to see amazing parts of the world. I also have a huge interest in cars, so to be a race car driver is something I think you kind of dream of as well. But I think maybe at a very low level, it would be nice to do it for a little while, but it would be an extremely expensive hobby that I don't think I'll ever get to do. See, I get so focused on cycling, and cycling just takes up so much of my life, I forget every other aspect of life. Normally I go for a drive, something like this. I'm a big petrol head, or anything to do with wheels. Just try and get out of the house or apartment, wherever I may be, just because I'm often stuck in an old school cycling mentality where I have to be off my feet. So once I'm not training or doing something productive towards cycling, I try to rest. But that's often not the best thing to get to clear the head. So often I have to try and just get out and do more normal stuff, I think. In 2-3 years as a cyclist, I hope that I'm still extremely motivated, that I'm still in the position I am today, still capable of winning races, and also hoping that I can help younger generation come through and develop quicker with the knowledge I've got through my career. And was it 10 or 15? Yeah, 10, 15 years. I would like to have more free time for family life, to be able to spend time with my child or children, whatever the case may be, and just to be there for them. Painful. Exciting. Rewarding. I think to really return to my top level right from the start. Try and bring as many wins as possible to BORA-hansgrohe. Even if it's me or another rider, that we win and try and get as many results as possible. For sure to go back to the Tour de France, fight for a green jersey, stage wins. San Remo it's a one that I really want to get a big result in. World Championships looks like it's a good one for the sprinters. And then just try and get some wins. Chasing numbers. I don't know, maybe something like that, because it's gone so scientific now that I feel that I'm not riding a bike anymore and often just chasing numbers. Rituals before races, going through the checklist to make sure I have everything done with food, stretching, kit. Then it's just about relaxing, enjoying the moment, making sure I say good morning to my wife. Then after that, there's no real ritual, but it's more about just being focused and knowing when to switch on. This is a really tough one, because, and again, it's like, it's a tough one because you're always protecting your image also. So a lot of the time, the sport, it is a competitive environment, but you really have to protect your image as an athlete, the team's image. So often you can't really say what you want to say, So I think when they do ask you the same questions over and over again, it changes from race to race, but there are questions you've practiced, so you're ready for them. And sometimes when they ask you a new question, they can catch you off guard, so it's not always a bad thing. But I think, I don't know, is it something, maybe it mightn't be something I haven't been asked, but maybe just what was my thought process or reason behind how I went through the last couple of meters in the race. Just so people can see things from my point of view.